We're live. We are live. All right, we're live on YouTube and Facebook. We're live on Instagram. How's everybody doing on this fine day? How you doing?
I'm doing wonderfully well, as Robert always says.
Wonderfully well. Sorry we couldn't do. We tried doing this last week, but we had some technical difficulties. I think we're up and running properly now, so hopefully we have no technical difficulties today.
Cool.
What are we talking about?
What are we talking about?
We
are talking about how to
bust through a plateau.
Yes, bust through it. A plateau.
All right, how's my hair look? Poofy?
Yep.
Poofy here. All right. Bust through a plateau. You want to start?
Well, first of all, before you ever get to the plateau, we always suggest slowly adjusting things. So you want to make sure that you're giving yourself plenty of, as Robert would say, runway. So if you're going to do cardio, if you're going to do intermittent fasting, if you're going to do any of those type of things, I would save those until later on. A lot of people want to jump in and do everything, and then they lose the ability to use that later on. So don't go crazy with your cardio in the beginning. Don't go crazy with intermittent fasting or extended fasting or any of that kind of stuff early on. Just like save that stuff till later, and as you find your body like getting to a somewhat of a plateau, then you can start incorporating some of those things in later on. That would be my first suggestion, and then I'll let you go, and then think of my brain.
What are you drinking?
I am drinking. It looks kind of funny, huh? I'm super fancy, so I'm drinking out of a wine little glass. But it is just water with Mio and electrolytes. But I put a little bit too much Mio in here.
How's our audio, by the way? Is the audio good?
I feel like this is lagging. Is this lagging?
It is lagging a little bit, yeah. Okay. I don't know why. So, my thoughts...
Also, nobody's on here. Oh, yeah, people are on there.
There are on here.
People are starting commenting.
Yeah, can one of y'all let us know if the audio is good on the YouTube and Facebook, please?
Please.
So, all right. Let us know, Ronald, if our audio is good. So, to talk about ramping, or not ramping up metabolism, but busting through a plateau, think of whatever your goal is, whether it be to build muscle, gain strength, lose body fat, as the objective. In order to reach that objective, you're making progress, then for whatever reason you hit a sticking point. That's the plateau that everybody dreads. To some extent, that's just going to happen, and you have to kind of have the momentum to be able to bust through that plateau like a freight train. And you're going to be able to have that momentum by being really solid in your foundation. So like if you're constantly changing things, always looking the grass is green on the other side, then you're going to screw up. You're not going to have the momentum necessary to bust through that plateau. So for that reason, change one thing at a time. That way, you know, everything else is super solid. This one thing I'm changing, we'll tweak and we'll go from there. And the how can I word this properly? All right, so there's a lot of different ways to bust through a plateau, but depending on what that plateau is, one thing's going to pretty much hold true regardless, and that is that you have to apply pressure to be able to give your body reason to adjust, adapt, and bust through that plateau. So like if your objective is to build strength, for instance, and you're plateauing at your strength, then you have to apply a stimulus to force the body to change. And that stimulus can take the form of increased intensity, increased volume, increased weight, some type of variable. If your primary objective is to lose body fat, then that stimulus, that pressure could be reduced calories, increased cardio. It could be better sleep. All of these different things are different variables. Try and change one thing at a time. I had a frog in my throat there for a second. Did you catch that?
Wow. Where'd he go?
I don't know. But one variable at a time. Obviously, if your sleep is terrible, then you can just improve sleep and know that prioritize improving sleep before you do anything else. but don't change like the calories you're consuming and like the intensity of your training and the amount of cardio you're doing all at the same time. Change one of those variables at a time, and then add a little bit more intensity, add a little bit more pressure to whatever that variable is.
I'd like to add also that you mentioned sleep. Sleep is so important, and a lot of people, when they're trying to lose weight, when they're trying to break through a plateau, when they're doing their day-to-day stuff, they don't actually look at their sleep. They don't take that into consideration, but sleep is so huge. If you are not sleeping well or long enough, you are not recovering. Along with that is stress. If you are exercising a lot, if you're increasing your cardio, if you're decreasing your food, those are all stressors, whether good or bad. They're all stressors on your body. So you need to make sure that you're actually taking care of yourself, that you're stretching or you're meditating or you're whatever it is that you do to de-stress or to wind down for the day, or actually making sure that when you're eating, you're not also on the computer or on your phone or scrolling through Instagram or whatever it is. Make sure that you're not doing those things while you're eating so that you can fully digest that food and take a moment to just be. Those are super important things that a lot of people don't talk about because it's not as fun to talk about. It's not as fun to say like, oh yeah, make sure you're getting plenty of rest and make sure that you're getting some downtime and meditating, when they could say, drop your calories by 1,000. Not really. Clearly, nobody would say that. But,
people do say that actually.
It's just, it's not as fun to say that, but it is exactly what a lot of people need and don't pay attention to enough. So I don't know. I do know. That's what I mean.
Ronald's got some good stuff here. Having a why will enable a person to reach a goal. Nothing happens in a few days. Gradually change your life dramatically. Make the change an average part of your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd also like to point out that a lot of people say that they hit a plateau or a stall when realistically their weight's only been the same for a week. That's not a stall. That is not a plateau. Are you doing measurements for your entire body? Are you getting your body fat taken? Are you getting your muscle mass taken? Like, there are other ways of measurement other than the scale. So don't go off the scale, and then don't expect your body to change every single week. Give it 2-3 weeks before you consider it a plateau.
Yeah, that's a good point, especially for strength and weight loss. Like if you're trying to lose weight and, let's look at things on a macro level of 3 weeks at a time. And during that 3-week span, you have 4 days where your weight actually goes up a little bit or doesn't change at all, but it trends down over the span of that 3 weeks. That doesn't mean you hit a plateau at all. It just means you have a little bubble, a little blip during that 3-week time span, but give it the time it takes. When it comes to strength, if there's like a 4-week period where you're hitting the same, like you're hitting deadlifts and 315 feels just as heavy on deadlifts that entire time. You can't go beyond 315 for deadlifts, but then on the 5th week, you're able to bust through. It doesn't necessarily mean you had to change anything, even just simply having the 3 or 4 weeks of consistently hitting that 315 with solid form. That doesn't mean you've plateaued. Plateau in the form of lifting, in my opinion, is much longer because it takes a long time to build lean muscle tissue.
We had someone say, hello, my favorite keto fam. This one is fasting is the key. People don't understand this. I will agree to a degree, but I, for one, have had a lot of hormone issues in the past, in the last year or two, and I tried to fast during that time, and I promise you, I didn't lose any weight, and it was actually more detrimental to my health than it was a benefit. So I do think that fasting can be wonderful, but it also can be harmful if you are not in the right space. If your body is already overstressed, you're going to add way more stress to it. So I do think that could be really beneficial for a lot of people to use if you do feel like you've hit a plateau, but also keep in mind that if you're not doing those things like meditating, de-stressing, things like that, that fasting is going to be an extra stressor along with decreasing calories or increased exercise and things like that.
It's Thursday, 2:07 a.m. in Dubai. I hope one day I can order your bricks from here.
Oh my goodness.
What are you doing awake at 2:07 a.m. is my question.
Did you know that exercise to some people is a form of stress? Yes, absolutely.
Exercise to all people is a form of stress.
Yep, exercise is a form of stress. It can be a really good stress, but if you're already stressed, then it can be a bad one.
Yeah, it's a form of hormesis. Basically, that being you have something that is inflammatory in your body, a stressor in your body, and it forces your body to adapt and overcome that. You could have good stressors, you could have good degrees of hormesis, and you could have bad. Like, you wouldn't want to take in a whole bunch of, what's that chemical that people put on the yards? Weed killer.
Oh,
what
is the name of that?
They're in a bunch of trouble right now. Roundup.
Yeah, that's right.
You don't want to take in a bunch of Roundup and consume that as a way for hormesis to take effect in your body, build up a tolerance. Like, that's not smart. But like training in the gym, sauna use, cold showers, like those are all stressors that add to your body growing stronger and becoming hormetic.
Mm-hmm.
Positive hormetic effect.
Jimmy said, "Miss you guys. Call me sometime to catch up." Absolutely, you can call us too, because if you leave it up to us, it might be a little while.
Roundup. Everybody says Roundup.
Oh, that's funny.
Thank y'all.
What did you call it?
Roundup.
Okay, you did.
Crystal, you're spot on about stress. That always stalls my progress. That even rhymes. Crystal, you're right on about stress. That stalls my progress. Could be a rap. A rhyme.
This is no for you, not for you, Robert. How's my baby Jack? He's good. These are the same idiots that weigh themselves every day. I don't think there's anything wrong with weighing yourself every day as long as you have the big picture in mind.
What body part do you want to prioritize this year, Robert? That's a good question. I think my chest and my delts have always been my lagging body part, so I'm just going to continue. My chest has come up a lot. I really prioritized that this past year, and it's improved a lot since years prior, but I'm going to try and build that up even more along with my delts.
How about vanity? Talk about that.
Oh. Vanity?
I don't think there's anything wrong with taking care of your body. I don't think there's anything wrong with being proud of your body. I think that a lot of people see someone who is fit and they think that they're a vain person, but in all reality, they're just doing the best that they can to take care of their body. And sometimes that is their way of taking care of themselves mentally, physically, emotionally. Like, a lot of people use the gym as a way to chill out or not go crazy on people. But then people view others as being vain or having.
I was on a podcast today and we were talking about bodybuilding and the sport of bodybuilding, and people that don't understand the sport of bodybuilding could easily look at it and be like, oh, you're scantily clad on a stage for a panel full of judges to look at you and give you a trophy. That sounds like a vain sport at first glance, but if you peel back the layers and you look, and there are vain people in the sport, don't get me wrong, but like
in every sport,
but if you look at the core of what bodybuilding is and what it represents, at least to me, it's the physical manifestation of your mind. Like, it's a mental sport. If I can push myself to the nth degree and then have that transcend the sport and then apply to all other areas of my life, that takes hard work, dedicated, discipline, dedication, said dedicated twice, over the long game in your life. Like, there's nothing vain about that. There's nothing wrong about that. There's nothing in that I'm going to or need to apologize for. That's just what it is. And I feel like people can see that and then embody that in their own life in their own way, and it never be a vain thing. It'd be just a representation of what's possible through dedicated hard work.
Once you reached your goal, how do you know how much to eat to stay at the same goal? To stay at the goal. Sorry. Go ahead and talk about that.
Well, it should always change, honestly. Like, you don't ever want to just maintain. I don't like the word maintain because you're never really maintaining. You're either getting better or you're getting worse. We can't really maintain as human beings. So ideally, you would continue to improve in some form or fashion, whether that be lean muscle tissue, increased endurance, increased athleticism, whatever that may be. And then as you do improve, as you do add lean muscle tissue, your caloric needs are going to increase because your metabolism is going to ramp up. So you're never gonna like require the same macros. Like you're never gonna hit a goal and then require the same macros indefinitely. Like it's constantly gonna be in a state of flux.
Someone said Tanner's Seafood was a great recommendation from the weekly newsletter email.
Oh, nice.
I don't know if everyone knows. Here I go saying Robert's awesome. Robert does a weekly newsletter, and he does come out with he gives a lot of really good information. What is it, like 7 points, right?
7 set Sundays, so 7 bullet points.
Yeah, so there's 7 bullet points every week, and a lot of times he'll give out like different ideas or different things that we've purchased or things like that. So if you guys are interested in that, that was one of the recommendations for this week.
Here we go. Hey guys, quick question. If I'm in a caloric deficit to lose fat, how long should I wait till implementing a refeed day to prevent metabolic slowdown and potentially hit new lows? So that's going to be a very individualized thing. However, general rule of thumb, you don't want to really introduce a keto caloric refeed until you're down below a certain body fat percentage, which for me, I don't really ever introduce them until I'm about 5% body fat. It's also kind of based on how long you've been in a deficit and how low your calories are. But like if you have, if you're at 30% body fat, for instance, and you've been dieting for a while and you're at like 20% body fat now, then you're probably going to want to like reverse things out and ramp that metabolism up, increase overall calories, and start it again, as opposed to trying to just throw in a bunch of keto caloric refeeds. Like keto caloric refeeds are a strategic thing. Use at the tail end of a prep when your calories are low, you've been dieting for a while, and your body fat is low. The lower your body fat percentage is, the more positive effect you're going to get from the refeeds.
Do you recommend L-carnitine for weight loss? I personally haven't really looked in a whole lot into it. I'm not super big on like supplementing in the first place. Do you have anything to say about that?
L-carnitine helps with fat absorption. If you're really like keto adapted, I don't really feel like you would need it. Look at guys like Danny Vega, strong, smart, and not egotistical, always seeking betterment mentally as well as physically. Totally
true.
agree.
Absolutely.
Thanks for turning me on to the sauna blanket. Ordered it and have been enjoying it daily since it arrived. Very nice. What brand did you get of the sauna blanket? Let's see here.
I'd love to compete in the future. Hit a mental roadblock since gyms are closed and home circuits aren't my thing. Totally get that. But thank you for your videos. They keep me motivated. Well, thank you.
If you're already doing a significant amount of cardio, I love running. Would you titrate that down before entering a cut? Probably. So like I do a lot of running daily as well. I do, but it's just a 1 mile to 1.5 miles, which in my opinion is not going to have a massive load on my body's ability to recover, recuperate, and function well at a lower caloric intake. Like to me, 1 mile, 1.5 miles, like more of a meditation time than anything else. But if you're doing like legit running as a form of cardio on a regular basis, then yeah, I would definitely titrate that down prior to going into a cut.
Hi, y'all. Noticed that you switched over to nano potassium. Do you still use ZipFizz? And if not, why? Trying to get more potassium in my diet. Thank you. So we haven't used ZipFizz in quite a while. I was using it more recently than Robert. But we did find that like we use a company called Upgraded Formulas, and you're much better at explaining it.
So, by the way, John, this is for you. Your posts and recommendations on body image and health have been a huge help for my wife. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. That means a lot.
So, Upgraded Formulas, electrolytes we use. The reason I like them is because the particle size of the particles are nano eyes, which means they're smaller than your red blood cell. So you get 100% absorption rate. So like the potassium, for instance, I don't have to take near as much of it for my body to absorb it all and then use it all. And I not have to cramp or have the headaches or anything that I would get if I was deficient in potassium. Whereas if I was getting just a standard over-the-counter potassium pill that's 99 milligrams, my body is not only not absorbing much of that, but that's not very much in the grand scheme of things. If I was to get a powder that's super high in potassium, like Dr. Berg's, for instance, is 1,000 milligrams, ZipFizz is 1,000 milligrams of potassium, my body's not going to absorb a whole lot of that either. And I'm going to excrete a bunch of it because it's not getting absorbed. And it has to be, it's like filled with a bunch of other stuff like the sweeteners, all that jazz. I'd rather just like skip all that other filler stuff, have 100% absorption, take in much less quantity because my body's fully absorbing all of it.
Robert, you are very articulate.
Well, thank you. I feel like I've been like a little less articulate lately because I haven't podcasted as much lately because I had a whole bunch of them pre-recorded, and I just feel like podcasting helps my articulation. And every time I've recorded here lately, it's like I can't even talk, but
that's my life. I always sound like that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you both. Nano potassium. I'm interested.
Nano potassium. All right. So
no worries about spelling on the name. Thank
Crystal
you.
and Rob. What's up, too? We're supposed to talk on Friday, man. We need to do that. You've got my number. I got your number. Let's talk, brother. I have lots to talk about. Camden says I'm doing about 3 miles 4 times a week. So yeah, that's getting on up there for sure. It's all kind of relative, like based off of what your endurance is. Like if you're normally running 10 miles, then all of a sudden you're like, I'm just gonna run 3 miles today. It's not much, but 3 miles is enough to definitely kind of cause some stressors on the body, especially in the state of a caloric deficit. So I'd probably titrate that down to like 1.5 miles 4 times a week, or 3 miles once or twice a week. I use no salt for potassium. What are your thoughts?
I used to use that. It's the same thing as we were talking about before. It's just not going to absorb as well, and your body's not going to be able to use it as easily. So it is okay if it's a cheaper option. It's a really easy option, and if you're willing to take that for a little while, but if you can maybe do a little bit more, if you could do like the nanoized potassium and with like the no salt or new salt or however you pronounce it, you can kind of incorporate both of them, and then use, as you can, start using the better of the two potassiums a little bit more frequently. It's not bad though. You can totally use that. I used to use it all the time. Just as you're able to, maybe make the move to doing it a little bit more.
You're so articulate.
God, don't you just never jump on here because I can't even
else
speak.
You can tell us about this new resource? What new resource are you talking about, Camden? The one I talked about in the video today, or the potassium electrolyte powder or liquid? If it's talking about the resource talked about in the video, it's a surprise, and I can't go into that just yet. But know that's going to be amazing, and will pretty much solve all the world's problems.
Oh boy,
it's a pretty bold claim, but I feel good about it. What else? What we need more questions. Bodybuilding resource. All right, so I guess I'll touch on a little bit. I alluded to this in my video today, if any of y'all have not seen it, but I'm working on a bodybuilding resource specifically for natural bodybuilding and specifically for ketogenic bodybuilding. So ketogenic natural bodybuilding, and it's going to basically be a summation of the past several years of my life's work in a resource that is easily digested, used, and applied. And it's going to take a while for it to be done because, like I said in the video, I'm a perfectionist. I want it to be dead on the money, spot on, perfect for y'all. But when it is dead on done,
it is dead
on done, y'all, it's going to be good. I'm going to be excited about it. I just looked at the nano potassium. I wish everything didn't have citric acid. That's citric acid. Let me go grab it. I got the bottle here.
He's gonna go grab it, and I'm just gonna sit here and not talk because I don't know how.
All right, so there's no citric acid in here.
I don't know if there's another kind or another brand, but we use upgraded formulas. I'm sure there is other types of hydrocase.
Not gonna focus.
Okay.
This is what it looks like on Instagram, in case you're wondering. But it's upgraded formulas, nano potassium, and the ingredients are nano potassium as potassium chloride, and then the other ingredients are simply ultra pure water and fulvic acid. I don't know what fulvic acid is. I'm not normally one to take things I don't know what it is, but I didn't even know fulvic acid was in there. What is fulvic acid, y'all? Here we go. Back around September, I mentioned keto brick being way too salty for me. You knew I was fairly new to keto, was very much looking forward to trying your brick again and KetoCon, as I do eat a lot more salt now. Then KetoCon was gone. Yeah, that's
Boo.
not good. Yeah, if you're not keto adapted, or maybe you just started the diet and you try the brick for the first time, it's probably going to be like, wow, this is way too salty for me. But then the more deeply adapted you get to keto, the more you're going to find yourself craving salt. Like right now, I'll eat a keto brick and then I'll salt something else and just eat a ton of salt. So try one now for sure, now that you're more deeply adapted. All right. Arlene says, do you know anything about the ketogenic diet's effect on the lymphatic system with lymphedema?
We have a great a person who has actually lymphedema. What is her Instagram? I don't know. What's her last name? Katrina's last name? Do you know her last name?
No.
If you message me directly, I will get you hooked up with her. But she has lymphedema, and she talks a lot about it on her social platform. And she's been doing keto for years, and I think has found it very beneficial. So I'd be happy to put you guys in contact with each other.
I have to take folic acid every day. So I don't know if you're talking about this. This was not folic acid. This is fulvic acid, Fulvic, which I had never even heard of. I've heard of folic acid, but I don't know what fulvic acid is.
This is an interesting question.
What?
I ordered some peanut butter keto bricks today. How do you like it?
I love it.
We just so happen to absolutely love them.
Yeah.
That's actually mocha's my favorite, but the peanut butter is definitely second for me. It's first for most.
Citric acid can sometimes be derived from corn. Yeah, we don't want anything derived from corn, and you're allergic to citric acid.
What's the best way to measure serving size on the nano potassium? So it actually says on there. I think I usually the potassium.
I think it's honestly with this, I just open it up and pour some in.
Okay, I don't do that. It says 0.4 teaspoons, so I use a half a teaspoon and I put it in my little thing and then dump it in my big water. Fulvic acid is just a bunch of stuff in one. LOL.
Is that what it is?
That's my type of answer.
Keto Chef Max. I like it, man. I haven't talked to you in a while, bro. We need to catch up.
Henry says hi.
Hi, Henry.
Hi, Henry.
Hi, Henry. Look for the new formula. Thank you for checking. You betcha. We are here to check. That's the
You missed my really nice comment.
Hey, you too, Crystal. You look gorgeous. Let's get that up on here, Tina. Thank you, Tina.
You are sweet.
What about me? Do I look gorgeous?
Super gorgeous. You always look gorgeous. Nobody has to ever say anything to you.
Keto Katrina on Instagram.
Keto Katrina. Okay, perfect.
Yes, that is it.
That is her. That's the one with lymphedema, and she would be happy to talk with you all about it. I know that for a fact, so feel free to message her.
While we're on the subject of electrolytes, I do have this from them as well, which is iodine. So iodine, if you eat a lot of seafood or kelp or seaweed, you're probably getting plenty of iodine. If you're like Crystal and you hate seafood, you don't do any of that stuff, then you probably want to supplement with iodine because you need iodine. A lot of people are deficient in iodine. Like I said, though, like if you eat canned sardines, canned oysters, especially like mollusks and stuff like that, crustaceans, then you should be totally fine.
I take another one that's called Peak Thyroid, and it has like copper and zinc and a couple other things in it too. I think most everything from their website is really awesome, honestly.
Tina says I look all right as well. All right and gorgeous are on two different spectrums, Tina.
Okay. Someone said KetoCon 2021, worth the cost to go. We think so. We have a really great time every time. Robert spoke every year. We have a booth every year, and
our booth's going to get better and better.
Yeah.
And this next year, it's going to be the bomb diggity.
The bomb diggity. So we get really excited about KetoCon, and we will definitely be there. And I feel like a lot of really amazing people will be there again. So yeah,
Yes.
I think it's worth it.
What is that brand for potassium? It's called Upgraded Formulas is the brand.
Oh, and the selenium in thyroid supplement as well. Yes, that is also in there.
Keto Down Under, what's up, man? Just making bulletproof coffee. Great to listen to you guys dropping knowledge. Awesome stuff. I was watching you driving fence post on Instagram today. So keep that up, man. It's a good workout. I've driven a pretty good share of fence posts in my day. Lots of exercise.
Ketogenic Beast says KetoCon is amazing.
It is. Here we go. Will you be at the Salt Lake, Keto Salt Lake in October? I don't know.
Did they just postpone it until October? Because I think we were going to be at another conference when that was happening, but it was supposed to be earlier this year.
I don't know.
So I don't know. I'm not sure.
Jamie Seaman, what's
Oh,
up?
hey, you're just like super popular.
Did you just do like an extended hey?
Oh, hey. Yes, I did.
Just had a snackcident with a brick. What's a snackcident?
Oh,
It's like a snack
really
accident.
Funny. Yeah, she had a bite too many.
Hey, there's no such thing as that. The bite too many is just the right bite.
I had a snackcident with a brick yesterday too.
Yeah, I had 2 bricks yesterday.
What is your favorite flavored brick? Mine is mocha. That's an OG, and I have to stick to it.
I like them all. I don't
He
discriminate.
does. He like goes from like
I cycle through them.
Yeah, he goes like in order, like coconut, peanut butter, almond coconut, blah blah blah.
I am on a mocha kick right now, though. I've been eating a lot of mocha, but the peanut butter is really good. Toasted almond coconut is really they're all good. They're all good. Pamela says, hey, from Southeast Arkansas. What's up, Pamela?
From Southeast Arkansas.
We got any more questions?
Any Savage electrolytes coming out?
Honestly, there's so many companies that I really like that have their own electrolytes. I'd rather just rep them and support them. I don't need to reinvent the wheel. Like, they've got some really good stuff.
So true.
There's one company in particular that I really like that's coming out with their own electrolyte powder, but I don't know if it's public yet, so I can't say anything. But I'll probably, as far as powders go, I'll probably use theirs exclusively once it comes out. As far as the liquid goes, I like the upgraded formula stuff.
Peanut butter is someone's favorite. Getting ready to smoke a steak and smash some peanut butter brick.
Nice.
Peanut butter and cookies and cream are my favorite.
Coconut is Pamela's favorite.
German chocolate coconut would be a good new flavor. Any updates on new flavors of bricks?
We did make a German chocolate cake recipe.
Yes, we did. So that's, if you actually eat the toasted almond coconut, that is very similar tasting to the German chocolate cake. And that's exactly what I thought of when I ate it. And then Joe made the cake and it was amazing. So go check that out. I think that we put it on
the KetoBrick.
KetoBrick, yeah, KetoBrick.com.
Wisdom Battle, ordering it. Do they endorse you? Need a code? They did give me a code, but I don't remember what my code is. I'm pretty much the worst when it comes to affiliate codes. Like, I just tell you all about it and I don't really cash in on it because
you can check it. I mean, you can check it out and see. We'd like to give you guys codes.
I think it's like Keto Savage maybe, but I don't know. I don't even know what the discount is on it.
It's not. We don't get any kickback from it. It would just be a code for you guys.
Upgraded formula is potassium. I'm on there now, and I don't know if they changed the formula. Definitely has citric acid now. Do they have one that's just the potassium and not like a blend or something? Alex's mom, Jennifer Jones. So proud of you two. I know who you are, Jennifer Jones. How you doing?
Just wondering about access to DSK. I purchased in 2018 and was under the impression that I would always be able to log in. I'm sad I spent money and don't have access to it anymore. You absolutely do. You just need to message us, send us a message because we actually redid the website.
Yeah, I rebuilt the website and for some reason,
better.
Some of it didn't transfer over. So if you purchased it before, you absolutely have lifetime access. Just shoot me an email. deeperstateketo@gmail.com and I'll get you fixed up.
Absolutely. You definitely do have access, so don't give up on us. We'll keep you going.
William asks my thoughts on targeted keto. Why would you want to break something that doesn't need to be fixed? and that is kind of like my whole view on strict keto. Strict keto is optimal. So once you get your body dialed in for that optimally, there's no really benefit to going with the targeted approach. That's my opinion of it anyways.
Oh my gosh, so excited. Thank you. I had great success with it. Well, thanks
FYI,
for
the
saying
pic
something.
is for COVID. That makes sense. Maybe, I mean, look like a gangster in the pic.
That's funny. DSK has been an amazing journey. Well, thank you.
Almond coconut brick was so good, had to slap my mama. That's what I'm talking about.
That's funny. Don't slap your mama. Weight gain. Okay. Poor connection.
Poor connection.
Okay. Poor connection for a second. Weight gain normal with first starting body weight exercise. I lost almost 40 pounds since January 1st, and my weight has jumped 5 to 7 pounds. Dieting hasn't changed. So, great question. Is this exercise new to you? If exercising and like increasing your weight training, even if it's body weight, if that's new to you, then absolutely. If you've changed it up, then absolutely. Exercise, as we were saying earlier, can cause stress on your body, but it also causes a little bit of inflammation. If you're gaining muscle, all of that stuff is going to cause you to gain a little bit of weight. So inflammation, water, muscle, all of those things need to be taken into account when saying that you're gaining muscle during exercise. So I could take a couple days off of working out and I actually will drop a couple pounds, but as soon as I get my workout on again, my weight kind of picks up again. So absolutely normal.
Aaron says, so off topic, what are you using to stream? I dig this format. It's called StreamYard. Dr. Barry told me about it. I like it. It's pretty sweet. Here's a pretty important question. It's a no-brainer answer, but it's a pretty important question. Gary says, who is ripped more, you or Goody Beats? LOL. Well, if you're talking about muscularity ripped, definitely me. If you're talking about ripping your shorts because you wear shorts that are too small, definitely Goody.
I wish he was on here right now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Thoughts on high LDL cholesterol, the bad cholesterol when doing the keto diet?
I could definitely dive into this and talk to you about the biology and whatnot, but I would be doing a disservice to people that know much more. I would 100% recommend you check out the first KetoCon speech by Dr. Nadir Ali, Nadirali. If you just type in Dr. Nadir Ali on YouTube, KetoCon speech, that pops up. That illustrates it in a much better way than I ever could.
Totally. We're going to have to get here in a minute, but if you guys are thinking as we're answering the next couple questions, please help us pick topics for the following week.
Yes.
Okay, yes, I haven't trained in about 10 years. Me and a buddy made a challenge for the month of May to do 100 push-ups and 100 squats a day.
Nice.
So that's awesome, but I would absolutely say that probably the couple pounds that you did gain is likely from that, but I don't think it's bad weight, so don't like overly stress about it.
All right, last question here. Robert, do you think you would get the same results if you don't do OMAD, eating 6 meals a day with the same calorie count? It would be interesting. I 100% do not think I would get the same results. There's this big debate right now between like the flexible dieters, if it fits your macros group, and like the keto people that focus on fasting and whatnot, that it's all about calories versus hormones. Mm-hmm. The fact of the matter is all matters. And based off of how you feel and perform and how I've kind of experimented over the years, I 100% know that I've done 6 meals a day before. I've done 7 meals a day before. Now I do 1 or 2 meals a day. I get better results. It's more sustainable. I don't have near the flux in insulin. I don't have near the adverse effects from a hormonal standpoint. It's more enjoyable, and I can live my life and not be a slave to food. And that's because I'm not eating 6 or 7 meals a day. Let's get serious. Who's your favorite cousins? What's up, wandering in? Well, since you're my only cousins on here, definitely y'all. All right. So we need to jump on. I've got a client call right now, actually, that I'm late for. He knows it's gonna be a little bit late though, so late on my client calls. But we need a question for the next one. So whoever asks the next question, let us know what that is. Here's a couple questions.
Yeah.
How do you feel about genetic makeup and not doing well on keto? There is a small demographic that aren't going to do as well at assimilating the fats. That is definitely a thing.
That's a follow-up question. I see keto beats. Goody Beats is eating 6 meals a day and getting great results. Your thoughts?
Well,
he's also eating carbs.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I can totally. Here's the thing. You put me and Goody on a bodybuilding stage together, and I'll wipe the floor with them. And you can tell them I said that.
There is a difference in the way that they're structuring their diet, because a lot of what Robert does is more carnivore with the bricks. Goody is kind of going about it very similarly to a generic bodybuilding type protocol, part keto and part carb loading. So what they're doing is completely different. So what might work for him is not going to work for Robert. What Robert's doing is not going to work for him possibly. So they're just doing different things. But yeah.
I stepped away from CV because my uric acid went from 4 to over 7. I think it was hard on my kidneys. What is CV? Goody Beats jumped in. He said, just wanted to stop in and say, I'm coming for you, bro.
I did just say, I was like, I wish he was on here right now. That's hilarious.
All right, bro. Come on, man. I'm glad he's on here. All right. Smack talking on a whole other level. We had a bunch of smack talk on the podcast that he was on too, though. You don't know if you listened to that one, but it was pretty funny.
I was there while Kara was, that's funny.
Shots fired.
That's so funny.
All right, y'all. So the question for next one is, how about this one here? Post-menopause help. We can't really speak from experience. But
we got to do our research here for that one.
Carnivore is CV. Is that the abbreviation for carnivore? I didn't know that. CV.
I don't know. I've never seen that before.
Did not know that either.
But now we know. He laughed.
Just looked up Keto Katrina. Her transformation is amazing.
Yes, it is.
And CV equals. I didn't know.
That's so funny.
I didn't know.
Is that a new thing? We also are like not. We're not up on the whole
abbreviations, emojis. I don't know any of this stuff.
Yeah, we're not very good at that.
All right, so we've been bouncing. The next question is the question that we're starting next week with. Who's it going to be? We got Instagram, we got YouTube and Facebook. Let us know.
I thought we were doing the post-menopause.
Oh, yeah, post-menopause. So we're talking post-menopause next time, right?
Yes. Bam.
Definitely post-menopause.
We're going to try and talk to a couple people because we know people who are way smarter about post-menopause than we are.
Yeah. And Goody, while you're at it, man, you just reflect on the smack talk and then you jump on here next week and I'll tell you how to be shredded like me. All right, y'all take care. Toodaloo. Love you bunches. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.